What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's video, I'm going to be showcasing one of the most insane FPS games I think I've ever seen in my whole life. And honestly, this game is going to revolutionize FPS as we know it. I'm being so serious with you. Not only gameplay, what we expect out of games, but also at the same time when it comes to laws behind the scenes and, maybe even the age rating of certain games. It's about to, like I said, change everything we know about FPS gaming. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic of today's video, as usual, if you guys want to support this channel, help us grind up to the 50,000 subscriber mark, and of course, if you just simply enjoy the content that you hear on this channel, then by all means, go ahead and subscribe. We post a bunch of FPS content, Call of Duty, Battlefield, even sometimes I dabble in Halo or other titles like that. So if you do want to be updated on all of this information, all of these commentaries, all of these rants, whatever, however I'm feeling in the moment, then like I said, subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, this footage that I'm about to go ahead and show you guys is absolutely absurd. All over the internet, people have been saying that, it's fake. This is not a game. Someone is walking around with a head cam, some type of GoPro, and they're just running around some random warehouse, blah, 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 blah. Well, yes, it has come out to be confirmed that this right here is a real game. You can actually go on the Steam Marketplace right now. It's called Unrecord. Unrecord, I believe, is exactly how it's pronounced. So if you want to go ahead and check it out with your own eyes, then by all means, go ahead and do so. You can also scroll around on YouTube as well and find, more footage, I believe. Like I said, nobody wanted to believe this is real, but yes, indeed, this right here is real in-game footage. The developers, even behind the scenes, went ahead and, explored the map that you're watching right here, but randomly put the spawn in. So, instead of it being like, you spawned out front, reloading pistol, he actually proved that, it's real. Like he puts the character spawn in multiple different spots and proves that, it is indeed a game that he can edit whenever they go ahead and feel like it. Again, I really hope I can showcase this footage without getting into, any copyright problems. If I do get into copyright problems, then obviously, I'm going to have to go back and edit it and change the gameplay. But of course, if that does happen and the gameplay isn't here like it should be, then go on YouTube, go on Twitter. It is all over the place. But as I was saying, this right here is going to just increase the standards of what people expect out of games by 10,000. Now, not just yet, obviously, because this is very early on and the technology is extremely early on, but this to me is proof that gaming is, yes, indeed, evolving. It's been said time and time and time again that, can we actually get another next gen? Is it really going to be anything, different? Anything that could, max the standards that we already have right now? Because I'll be real, I'm in the same party, After seeing every single next-gen console come out and see game after game after game, the next big thing after the next big thing, graphically, it seems like we're almost at a climax. Like we can't get any higher than we currently are. Maybe they can polish it off a tad bit here and there, make it look a little bit more pretty, brighten it. I don't know, but realistically, it seems like we have hit some type of boundary where we can't get through. But it does seem that that boundary is finally being broken, and it's basically real life now. It's so funny because we see it in movies, we see it in TV shows, we see it, in games themselves, where, people like the next gen, like hundreds of years down the road, what is gaming going to be like? You put a headset on, you have someone put something in your eyes or something, whatever it is, your body gets, digitalized into the game and you're inside the actual product itself. We've seen so many different things being put out there on TV. And, we always think to ourselves, it's like, that would be kind of cool, but realistically, how are we going to get to that point? Well, it looks, I wouldn't be shocked anymore. I would not be shocked anymore with what the future holds, because I personally never thought we're going to get to this level. Like I said, I thought we were capped out. I thought we hit a border, but no, we didn't. It's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. And the best part about it is that this isn't a VR game, I don't believe. This is just a basic, game that you could play. Maybe you could hook up a VR headset, but realistically, you don't have to. And to me personally, that's cool. And you got to keep in mind that this is just one style of game. This is a game that is trying to take this headcam direction. Like, you're like a real life operator with real life graphics and stuff like that. They're trying to take that direction. But what happens when our everyday average games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, when they start getting hold of this technology, when they can scan in real life environments and literally put them in a digital video game with them looking identical to like a 4K photo that you would see someone take out in real life and it looks exactly the same in games. Can you imagine what gaming is going to turn into? And like I said, it's going to increase our standards. We already thought our standards were high, but my goodness, when games start looking like this on the regular, our standards are going to be on a whole different level. And the funniest part about this whole situation to me is how pissed off people are that they can't possibly imagine anybody out there in this world wanting a game to look this realistic. They're all saying, how could you ever want to play something like this? How could you ever want to, get into a gunfight where it's so real, so authentic? Are you kidding me? I play games like Tarkov and, real milsims, tac shooters that are really detailed and gruesome. It's just gaming. It's FPS gaming. It's not like we want to actually do it. That's a load of crap. But when it comes to the actual realism factor of a game and putting you in the moment, that's what it's all about. Having something that looks like this is going to make your adrenaline pump. It's going to make you in the zone. It's going to put you in the moment even more than we already are with current games that we're playing. It's for atmosphere purposes. For example, could you imagine a game like The Last of Us looking like this? The story is still intact. The story is still the same. It's not like they're trying to prove a point with extra gore or something like that. It's just imagine a story like The Last of Us having graphical, quality like this. The scare factor would be, like I said, intensified by 10,000. Because like I said, the realer the graphics, the more it immerses you into the overall experience. And of course, with some games looking like this, that doesn't mean all games are going to take this art direction. People love anime-style games, cartoony-style games. People love all different art directions. Just because this is coming out doesn't mean that this is going to be a standard for every title out there. I think that's another reason why a lot of people are, salty about this, because nobody wants all the games to be looking realistic. But this isn't going to be something that is used and abused by every company out there. It's probably just going to be used and abused by the people who are making shooting games, tac shooters, stuff of that sort. And you have to keep in mind, not all shooters are going to be like that. It's not like the whole shooting scene is going to be taken over by this quality. You still have games like, Fortnite, for example, Apex Legends, and they are extraordinarily popular. Some of the most popular games out there. So realism isn't exactly what everybody in the world wants. It's not like it's going to be a mainstream trend that's going to take over and you can't find any game that, doesn't look like this. But will it be good for overall gaming? Yes. In my opinion, the future of gaming is like what I said earlier. I want to be in a dang game. You know what I'm saying? I want it to almost feel real. And if we can get to that point, that is going to be insane. But for the time being, seeing this improvement is just mind-boggling. And while we're on this topic of, people being disturbed by this type of realism and stuff like that, Jake Lucky actually made a great point over on Twitter. I saw his tweet under, the original post of this video clip. And he made a great point. He was saying how laws are going to be handled around stuff like this, because gaming nowadays is already being completely demolished by politicians and stuff like that. They will blame gaming for absolutely everything out there, every shooting, everything you could possibly think of. It's all due to games. You know what I'm saying? What is going to happen when FPS games start looking like this? Oh my goodness. Will this even last? Can this even be something that becomes, real and, actually does stay relevant within FPS shooters? Because, like I said, they're already trying to take us down enough as it is. My goodness, when the games start looking as real as this, they might really start gunning for us. And, I don't know. Are they going to have to start changing, the age ratings? Are they going to have to start, making people actually fill out stuff to prove that they're a certain age? Because this stuff is going to be gruesome. I'll be honest. I got to be straight up honest. There are, some teams out there that really want the most realistic of real. It's going to be insane. I mean, just look at Dead Island 2. The gore factor in that game is absurd. So, if technology has gotten to the point where we can make gore look as insane as it is in Dead Island 2, and we can make the graphics look as real as they are in this game, like I said, things are going to just be absolutely absurd. I don't know what the future holds for us, but it's a tad bit worrying, but also a tad bit exciting at the same time. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a massive favor, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below about how you feel about this gameplay here. Like I said, I really like it. Low-key, I will probably go ahead and scoop up this game when it launches, and I hope to see more projects like this. Again, I don't want this art direction completely taking over, but is it something interesting to play around with? Yeah, it's a lot of people out there who love realism when it comes to their shooters, and this is going to be exactly that. It's going to be perfection. Even imagine a Rainbow Six Siege-styled game that looks like this. Two teams, 5v5, 6v6 against each other, one breaching, one defending, so on and so forth. that will be absolutely mental to go ahead and play out. So I am really excited to see what the future holds, and I hope a lot of development teams take advantage of all of this upcoming technology. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new to the content, don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification button. Also, want to chat me, this do we do so. To in Discord, both link down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games, do it on Twitch. That's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.